Hey guys, what's going on? If you're new here, welcome. My name is BrittanyNichole. I have hooded eyes and I tend to do a lot of eyeshadow tutorials that work for my hooded eye boys and girls. Don't worry if you don't have hooded eyes, it will work for you as well. You just don't really have to fake your crease. So as you can see by the title of this video, we are doing this look right here, which I am so obsessed with. I'm telling you guys, as always, this is super easy. I'm just looking down so you guys can kind of see everything. And I am going into great detail in this tutorial to show you how I achieved it. I know this is super cheesy, but this James Charles palette is truly allowing me to unleash my inner artist. You do not typically see me in this kind of makeup, but I am living for it. It is making me feel so into makeup again. I haven't felt this way about a palette since the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar palette, and it's so refreshing because I feel like I've kind of been in like a makeup rut lately, and this is really just kind of making me get creative again, and I love it. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I got this look right here, grab a snack because I think it's going to be a long one, and keep watching. So I've already primed my lid with my NYX waterproof primer, and I just set that with my Charlotte Tilbury face powder with a fluffy brush only on the upper area of my lid where I'm going to blend the crease color. I did that because I don't want the crease to get like patchy in any area, and when there's a sticky base, when you put your brush down, sometimes it can kind of stick to that area. However, I do want the lid color to stick, so I didn't set my lid color, so that's still tacky. So the first colors I'm gonna go in with are Pinkity Drinkity and a little bit of Punch Me. Punch Me is gonna be my favorite blending color. It's kind of a cool brown tone and I really like it. So I'm gonna kind of touch into both of those, and then I'm gonna start to blend into my crease area so we can have a nice fade like we have on this side. And I'm holding the tip of my brush here so I do not apply a lot of color. I'm just gonna start to kind of map out the shape. And I am doing a slightly different shape. You can see I brought this kind of farther out. I typically don't do that, but since this is such an exaggerated look, I wanted to kind of play and do something a little bit different. So I kind of went with like a little bit of a lift, but also kind of pulled out. And you could see when I get to the outer corner, I'm gonna grab a little more of Punch Me. That's what I'm starting to kind of lift up here. So when I get to the outer corner, I just kind of flick my brush slightly, and that's how I'm getting the lift, but I'm also gonna bring it out a little bit further out here, right where the tail of my brow ends. All right, so now I'm switching to a little more of a precise brush. This is my Smith 247. Still taking Pinkity Drinkity. This is a little stain from doing this eye. I'm just gonna kind of bring that a little bit lower and target that more in like my actual like crease area, just to kind of make it a little more pink. And I know this looks like nothing right now, but it will in the end help with a really, really seamless blend, which is always the goal when you're doing a smoky eye, and especially when you have hooded eyes. And I like to bring it all the way to the inner corner where my nose kind of curves in. And the reason I do that is because when I'm not holding my eyes, you can see I really don't have any lid space right here, so by bringing it in, it just kind of adds a little bit of openness, I feel, to the eye. All right, so now I'm gonna switch to a flat brush. This is just a craft store flat brush, and I'm gonna go in with Single, which is a beautiful purple shade, and I'm gonna start to pack that all over the lid. So like I said, this is why I didn't set my lid, because I really want that primer to stick to this color, or help this color stick rather. And you could see how pigmented this shade is. I obviously have no base on, just that primer, and this is so pigmented. So we're just gonna take that all the way across the lid. I'm not trying to be extremely neat here. I'm just trying to pack it on. All right, and then switching back to that Smith 230, I'm gonna take that same color, Single, I'm gonna kind of round it out a little bit more. So I'm really kind of starting to shape it now. And I'm only taking a tiny, tiny bit of product at a time, and I even kind of rub it on my wrist so I don't have too much product, and then I go in and start to blend. Again, holding at the tip of the brush so there's not too much pressure. So you guys can see the difference from when you pack on the color and when you take it on a fluffy brush, how much lighter the application can be. And that really provides that seamless blend that I'm looking for, especially with my hooded eyes. So really kind of play around with your brushes if you are kind of having a hard time with blending. The reason why pro makeup artists have so many makeup brushes is for that reason. You can just get like a totally different application depending on your brushes. I should do a video on that one day. Let me know if you want to see that. That was like a total tangent that I was just thinking about as I was looking down in the mirror. But we're gonna go ahead and deepen things up. So I'm gonna take an e.l.f. smudger brush. This is such a good brush. This is like $3 from Target. I love it. It's the perfect stiffness. And I'm gonna dip right into Escape, and we're just gonna start to kind of deepen and build that outer corner a little bit more. So I like to lay my brush on the side like this as I'm kind of building out the shape. So I kind of dip it in the color on the side like that, tap it off, and then kind of start to build my shape. And I kind of look back and forth between both eyes to make sure everything is even. And then I'm just gonna kind of start to deepen that outer corner. Now again, I'm kind of packing with that smudger brush, and then I'm jumping right back into that Smith 230, dipping into Escape, and I'm gonna kind of start to build up on the outer corner as I go up, because I don't want it to be too heavy. So I'm not packing, I'm just kind of blending very, very gently. And then once I have like nothing left on the brush, I'm just gonna carry over. So again, there's a nice seamless blend, but I'm not adding a deep color. Now, I've mentioned this in a ton of videos. I hold like a compact down because if I'm looking like this, I can't access my lid like at all because my hood is so heavy, which is why I hold a compact down and I look down so I can fully access my entire lid and know how I want to build that shape. All right, so before I go in with the glitter, I'm just gonna take this Wet n Wild fluffy brush again, and I'm gonna dip very, very lightly into Love That. Again, tapping on the back of my hand so there's not a lot of color. And I just wanna kind of touch the outer edges here on the outer corner to add a little bit more of a transition. And then again, I'm just gonna lightly bring that in when there's basically nothing left on the brush. I'm gonna go into my MAC 222 with that color actually and hit right in there a little more. Perfect. So let's go ahead and hit it with the glitter, which is why, well, glitter shade, which is why I wanted to do this look. So this color is Artistry, and it is so pretty. This is the one that in my last video I was like, ooh, I really want to play with that color. Looks like this. Focus. It's like a purple with a blue undertone. So beautiful. And it's a lot more sheer. Focus. It's a lot more sheer than I thought it was going to be. So that's why I applied the first color single all over the lid, because otherwise this would be way, way too sheer. It might look beautiful if you laid some concealer under it, but I'm just gonna go in with my finger and I'm gonna basically put this all over the lid. I'm actually gonna switch to my left hand to do this. From basically where the dark color stops to the inner corner. And yeah, there's gonna be some fallout, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. So it's kind of just like a glitter topper, I feel like, but very unique. It does require a bit of finessing and building up. So after I apply it with my finger, I'm gonna go in with a synthetic brush and then work it a little more onto the lid. I just think that shade is so pretty and so unique. I love it. We might come back and add a little bit more, but I do want to start the lower lash line. So I'm going to grab that e.l.f. smudger brush first, and I'm gonna go in with single, and I'm gonna hold my compact up this time so I could really access my lower lid. So I'm gonna look up, and I'm not bringing this too far down. I'm trying to keep it pretty close to my waterline because there's so much focus with like the glitter. I just don't want to smoke it out too much. So keeping it pretty close to the lash line. And then going in with Escape, I'm gonna do the same thing, outer corner. I think I want to actually fix this shape just a little bit, so I'm going to see if this will work. I'm going to take my Kat Von D number 40 brush and the color Canvas. I just wanted to kind of touch just like that. Did you see how I just kind of touched the outer corners and lifted? And we're going to blend a little bit more so it won't be quite so like harsh right there, but that definitely made the shape a little more of what I want. So I'm gonna go in with my Smith 230. Yeah, my Smith 230. I'm just gonna kind of blend that lower lash line a bit. All right, and then back into the e.l.f. smudger brush, I'm just gonna take a little bit of Spooky, which is the black shade, which is so pigmented in this palette. Again, I'm gonna hold my mirror up and I'm just gonna lay that. Like, look how pigmented that is. And it blends so well. This brush helps as well, but oh, I love it. And that'll just help with the mascara to kind of add a little bit. So let me quickly, oops, I'm dropping things here. Let me quickly line my upper and lower lash line. I'm just gonna take a black liner on the upper lash line and then the NYX Faux Blacks in Blackberry on the lower waterline. And then I'll go ahead and throw on my lashes real quick so you guys can see what that looks like. So I'm gonna do all of that and then I will be right back here. All right, you guys, lashes are on. I'll list that down below. And obviously I changed my lip color. I wasn't into that lip color when I started the video that I had on before. And when I got off camera, I was just like, we need to switch this. And I remembered that I had MAC Rebel, and I do not wear this shade enough, and I love it. And I think it complements this look so well. So I took a little bit of MAC Rebel. I kind of just stamped it all over my lips, and then I took the glitter shade Artistry and I stamped that on top of it a little bit just to tie everything in so we have like a very monochromatic look here, but I am for it. Now, purple is not the typical eyeshadow color I pull for, but that Artistry shade really called my name and really allowed me to unleash my inner artist, just like James said in the palette. I love it. I'm so happy I kind of got outside of my comfort zone and was able to achieve a look that I'm comfortable with, even though it's like outside of my comfort zone, if you know what I mean. So I hope this video was helpful to some of you. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Pick this up if you guys are interested. I love it. I hope you'll enjoy it too. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in seeing any more videos from me, please subscribe. It means the absolute world to me, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.